You know, when you deal with telecommunications, you're handling everyone. Everybody's a customer of telecom. Businesses, government, individuals, you got everyone. So the narrative that you manage in that kind of industry is a tricky one, because you're not really talking to one segment, you're talking to everybody. So it's very prone to kind of weird narratives that can pop up. I'll give you an example, government. Like the interaction between government and telecom is a big area where some people would be very much in favor of a very tight interaction, law enforcement and others. Others might say that's terrible. There might be these conspiracy theories that pop up. So telecom, just by its reach and scope, makes it unbelievably prone to weird or sometimes correct narratives. You don't know. And so that breadth of sort of scale that you have to deal with in terms of customers makes it very difficult to ensure that the kind of narratives that your customers are hearing are accurate and are real, as opposed to something that might be, say, cooked up on social media. Traditional security in telecommunication was about access. It was about determining who's authorized or where is it okay for someone to touch a network, to access a switch, to access some piece of the management infrastructure around telecom. That's what we all grew up doing. And that's what we call security in telecom. Narrative attacks are very different. They just require a different kind of approach, because anyone can have an opinion. Anyone can state what they think or post to social media a correct or incorrect thing about, say, telecom, about your service provider. It could be very harmful, for example, for someone to say that a network is down in some region. That might be utter nonsense. But it's not about who has access to a system or to a network. It's who has access to the ability to just say something on social media, or say it on the internet, or send it in email. So it's a very different control structure that's necessary. It's not the kind of thing that we grew up very comfortably with in telecom, again, around controlling authorization and access to systems. This is different. You know, in telecom, the first step toward dealing with narrative attacks, and Blackboard does a nice job in supporting this, is you have to know what's going on. I mean, that's the first thing. You have to be able to identify accurately what's happening. If you don't have that, I'm not really sure where you'd even start, if you really have no baseline. So that's the first thing. The second thing, and as a longtime CISO, I can tell you that the big problem, even if you know what's going on, is prioritizing what to do. Like, sit in a room and say, wow, what do we do? And establishing priority demands that you have information, you have facts, so that you can prioritize, decide, build a plan of action. What do we respond to? In what order do we respond? What is meaningful? What's not meaningful? These are the kinds of considerations that we're going to be dealing with narrative attacks. And people listening to me now who grew up with me in cybersecurity are probably laughing, because parts of this are familiar. You know, the idea of prioritizing response, but parts are really different. This is a fundamentally different kind of problem, because again, it's not making decisions about systems that you control. It's a much broader threat. It's a threat that goes outside your traditional boundaries and requires that you do things that are just different than we did when we were growing up in cybersecurity.